Hi. I was just sitting here thinking about making a video and I just thought, why not? I've been in the pool today. My kids are back there right now. It might be a little bit noisy, but I was just reading over my journal this year and a lot of things have happened this year. In some ways it's been a great year and some days it's been a challenging year. I guess you could probably say that about most any year. But I was reading through my journal and I just want to share what God has been teaching me this year. At the beginning of the year, I did a lot of fasting, and kind of immediately after I did all of this fasting, things seemed to get worse, can be very confusing. It's not what I was expecting. But here we are in August, and some really good things are happening. Now, everything's not perfect. Everything's not what I want it to be. Some things haven't gotten better, have gotten worse, but some amazing things. So I just want to share those. At the beginning of the year, I had totally forgotten about this, but I have a little bit of a curve in my spine and have trouble, and sometimes, it's so bad that I am on my back for weeks, like can't even sit up because it's so painful. So earlier this year, that happened again. And I have kids and I have a home to take care of, and I wrote in my journal this one specific morning where I was trying to make some lunch for the girls, and I was having to lean over on the counter just to relieve the pressure in my lower back every few minutes just to try to get the job done. And then after it built up so much, I would just kind of scurry to my bed and lay down as fast as I could. Well, this was going on, and it had been for days, and just happened that some YouTube video came up, like after I was listening to a song, or I don't remember what, but it was, I think his name is Kenya Bridges, something like that. And it was a healing video. So I watched it while I was trying to make this lunch, and I'm running down the hallway trying to get some relief, and somewhere in this period of time, like I'm in the bathroom and I'm just crying out to the Lord and saying, your word says, by your stripes I am healed. Now I know that people say that that means one particular thing, and it does mean that, but Jesus said that he set us free from the curse. And if you look up the curse in Deuteronomy 28, it isn't just about the afterlife. No. It's a lot of things in this life. And he said he set us free by what he did on the cross. He set us free from the curse. So you may believe differently, but this is what I believe, and this is what's happening for me. I said, by your stripes I am healed. And it was so unmistakable, so distinct. I was fine. I sat up. I hadn't been able to sit. I could lie down, I could stand, but sitting was big no-no. I sat up that afternoon. I read my Bible, I believe. I wrote in my journal. I painted for a while. I'm a painter. And to the point that I even forgot that I'd been experiencing this. And that was it. It did not come back. And so I've had other things this year. I had what I think was a gallbladder attack. A big liver rash broke out on my back. I didn't even know that was a such thing. But I believe that God is showing me the things that I need to do for that, and he also showed me such amazing things in the natural that it took the pain away immediately. Like, days of pain, serious stuff, like I was worried. So I'm still working on that. I'm not saying that that was some like miraculous healing and that it's just totally solved, but I'm still claiming that I believe your word. I believe you, God. I believe that I'm not just healed in the here and after, that I'm healed now. So I have another story that happened this year. Kind of forgot about it. On my daughter's birthday, I also have some hormonal and thyroid problems, but I'm coming through it naturally, but coming through it, and by God's help, discovering these things and getting better by and by. It's taken some work, it's taken some years, but I'm a lot better than I was. So anyway, I hadn't had this hormonal headache, and I mean just about like, going on a year, long time, months. And it was my daughter's birthday, and she's having a birthday party, and people are just coming at any time. And I knew that it was about that time, but I start to have this hormonal headache. And just right before people are coming, I'm like, oh Lord, why? Just of all the days, I haven't had one in so long. Why now? And I've learned to never ask God why. Even in the Bible, when people would ask God why in a roundabout way, even if he answers them, he doesn't tell them why. He just kind of turns it around on them. He tells them what they really need to know, not why. That's really not important. But anyway, somewhere in this, I was getting sicker. My head was hurting worse, and I'm starting to feel sick to my stomach, and just that's the way a migraine goes sometimes. And I just thought, no, do you believe it or not, Katrina? So once again, I'm trying to get dressed in my room, and I'm walking around, and I said, no, you know what? Hey, by your stripes, we are healed. And I don't know if I said that a few times, not a lot, but I came out into the rest of the house, just trying to get things ready, and people started to arrive, and somewhere about halfway through the party, I went, oh my gosh, I feel perfect. I feel absolutely perfect. So, those are two small stories. No, they're not like astounding light from heaven, you hear music, but I believe that God is changing something deep in me, and I'm getting little successes, and I hope you do too. But this is what my prayer is these days. Long time ago, I used to just beg, oh Lord, and I mean, Lord, just help me, just beg, whimpering, pitiful, desperate. But this is my prayer these days. It's not even what I would say is a prayer. But of course, I know who the power comes from. I know who's given me authority on earth, and it's only by Jesus. But now I just speak to my eyes. I have a lot of eye problems. They've worsened a lot this year. Have for years had problems, but this year's been a doozy. And I just speak to my eyes, just like the mountain, just like Jesus said, just like speaking to the tree that Jesus cursed. He spoke to these things. He said to speak to things. And so I've been saying to my eyes, you know what, eyes? Jesus did something for you. He did something for us. He set us free from the curse. So you just line up with what he said. You line up with what he did. We are healed by his stripes. And I speak to my spine. And just a few times a day, if I remember, I'm starting to remember more and more. But I don't know, I just thought I would share that. You're not trying to get a hold of something, you already have it. It's like this. It's like, okay, one time my friend, her name's Kristen, she told me that the Lord spoke to her, and she said she looked at her dog, and her dog was standing in its little cage, those little cages that, crates or whatever. And the dog was standing there just kind of whimpering, but the door was wide open. And she said God spoke to her and said, you're standing there in a cage, but the door is wide open. You're already free. So live like you're free. Walk out that open door. So do you feel like you're stuck? Do you feel like you're not free? Is it what you're not experiencing, but you believe it? Okay, maybe you're just still inside the cage with the door wide open, but you can come out. So you start coming out and speaking life with your tongue. You start making your tongue obedient to Jesus. You start making your thoughts obedient to Jesus and what he said. And every time you have that thought of fear, worry, or anxiety, or whatever it is, you start telling it what your God is like. Because that's not what your God has for you. And I know that there are problems in this world, and I know there's persecution, but persecution is not the same as the things in the curse. The things in the curse are not things that you have to put up with. Yes, there's trouble in this world. Yes, there's persecution, but you need to be looking up those words in the Greek if you're confused on what that means, because that does not mean physical pain. That does not mean disease, sickness, illness. I'm going to direct you to a source that has been so helpful to me. You can write to, oh goodness, I can't remember the specific place, but it's Andrew Wommack, and I'll put it in the comments. And you can get a book for free, totally for free. CDs, messages, they sent me 28 discs at once. And it's called God's Will to Heal. The book, big, thick, nice book. God's Will to Heal, and they will send it to you completely free. And if this doesn't convince you biblically, I don't know what will. You know, some people just aren't willing to let the Lord change their mind about something. But if you want to know, if you're willing, you get a hold of this resource, because it will change your life. It might change your expiration date, because the Bible does say they perish for lack of knowledge. It does say that some people can die before their time. I can't remember if it's in Proverbs or exactly where, but it's fact. It's a fact. It's biblical. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I just hope this finds the right person and encourages you. And I'm going to say one little prayer for you. Lord, I pray that whoever's watching, whatever that they need, that they will begin to get a hold of this, that they will speak life and not death, that they will start to make their thoughts obedient to you, their words obedient to you, that their body would start to become obedient to what you've done for us, what you've said you've done for us, that they would begin to walk free in Jesus' mighty and holy name. Thanks for watching.